Hello, in this video I want to review this gamepad for you. This is the best gamepad I've ever seen and used, and it's very cheap. Like the wireless version, I bought it for just about 120 zlotych, which is like maybe $25. And the wired version is 2 times cheaper. So let's unpack it and look what's inside. Not. I've been using it for 2 months already, and it's the best gamepad ever. This is everything that comes in the box. The gamepad itself, the USB dongle, or what it's called. It's really small, look at it. I'll plug it into my laptop already. Yes, this is the gamepad itself. It's very comfortable to hold. It has turbo function. I like the buttons. One confusing thing is, if you are using it on a PC, it works like an Xbox 360 controller or a D input controller. So like that would be A, that would be B, that would be X, and that would be Y. Yes. On the back there is a button to turn it on and to turn it off. But in the wired version, this button is used to switch the gamepad between X input and D input. In the wireless version, the switching between X input and D input is done by holding down this button for 8 seconds. I'll show it later. Yeah, but it has the turbo function. If you don't know what turbo function is if you need the turbo function, you press down some button, you press turbo, and now if you press down this button, it will not perceive it as just you holding button, but as if you are smashing this button like mad. I'll show it later. And then when you need to turn off the turbo, you hold it down and you press clear. Yeah, that's how it's done. Yeah, but this is a nice controller, but strangely I've seen another controller that looks somehow like this. Yeah, triggers, very comfortable, and this is one of the best thing as well. This is where you charge the gamepad. The gamepad comes with this USB to micro USB wire for charging, but you can use any micro USB wire. For example, I use my phone charger to charge this. So this doesn't need any batteries. Very useful. And there's also instructions and stuff if you want to read it, and such a place to hold the controller. Let me show you that you can. I'll show you right now that you can use anything to charge the controller. For example, we turn it on. This means it's working. And now. There. This means it's charging. I like how you can turn it on and off, because for example PV65 you can just turn it off. You have to wait for it to turn it off on itself. Of course, this one, if you just turn it on and you will wait, it will turn it off on its own. Let's put it down and wait a little.
5 minutes later.
And as you can see, it's kind of sleeping. To turn it off, you don't have to press this to switch it off, then on. No, you just have to press this, and there, it connected again. Yeah, so now let's go to the laptop or PC part of review, like the review of the programming software. Yeah, so as you can see, right now it works as a Xbox 360 controller for Windows. That's the properties. Yeah, here you can see how it works. Those are the triggers, the D-pad, and the buttons. And right now I'll show you what turbo function does. For example, you see, pressing down this, now press turbo, and it blinks as if it was being mashed really fast. Clear, is back again. Yes. But now, look what will happen if we press down this and wait for 7-8 seconds. See, it is now a USB wireless gamepad. And what's the point of doing this? You see, in Xbox controller, it always perceives the sticks and buttons as different things. For example, but with the D-pad, it has two modes. You can turn off and on the sticks. For example, right now, it thinks that this stick is the same as the D-pad, and this stick is the same as those buttons. The turbo function works on the input as well, but if we turn this, a second mode, it uses as different controls. Yes, it's very useful for certain things, like old emulators, like NES, SNES, Genesis, and stuff. And now I'll show you that it actually works, how it works. Oh, one more very useful thing of this controller, you can connect it to PlayStation 3. But I don't have PlayStation 3 to demonstrate this. Yeah. And here are some demonstrations of how this gamepad will work with the prototype game. Of course, it will lag a bit because I am recording and my laptop isn't that strong. Yes, but they're aiming, choosing powers and stuff. Fighting, grabbing, jumping. Everything works, as you can see. And now I will show you an example of a game where it's better to use the D input. As you can see, it's the input because it switches on like this. You can switch between modes. And I will show you on the example of, let's say, embodiment of Scarlet Devil. And now you can see that I can control Raymo with the D-pad and with the stick. But if I press this, I can control with the D-pad, which is useful. For example, I want to control her both with D-pad for precision sometimes, and with the stick. Yes. Everything works, as you can see. So yeah, it is a very good gamepad. I really recommend it. And it's cheap. And can be used for PC and PlayStation 3. Yeah, and the biggest plus for me is it has D input and X input. So yeah, thanks for watching. You should really buy this gamepad, it's cool.